want to explore one of the biggest mysteries of the city of York. The tower and the wall behind me date to around 200 and 300 AD, but despite this excellent Roman construction, what followed was a period of about 1,000 years where there was virtually nothing that was built to last. It appears that the city went backwards. I'm here in the museum gardens amongst the remaining parts of the Roman fortress. Today I want to show you what's around the back of the tower, a little historian's paradise. There's so many bits of wall here, it's hard to tell what's what. This is part of the original Roman wall, and I'm going to talk about a curious construction just up here. The Anglian Tower. Across the country, aside from churches, there is very little building work left behind from Anglo-Saxon times, which makes this construction all the more remarkable. Okay, so it's called the Anglian Tower. We're talking about Anglo-Saxon times, but to be honest, it's incredibly difficult to know when this was built. We can see it's been inserted into the Roman wall, so we know it must have been built some time after that, and we know that around 900 AD it was buried underground when all the area behind the wall was filled with earth. So in other words, the tower dates from somewhere, anywhere, between 200 and 900. The tower was only discovered in the 1840s when some people making the cut-through route unburied it, and it only got properly excavated in 1970. A plaque nearby here commemorates a man who worked on that excavation. It's a curious and fascinating tower, firstly because it's so unique. There's nothing quite like this that's been found anywhere else. So what was it? An equally curious question. Maybe a watchtower? Maybe bowmen or people defending the city could have stood on here? Maybe even a decoration, we don't know. Let's look at how it's constructed. 3 meters-ish high, small and almost square, a couple of entrances, these arched doorways. They've now replaced the original ceiling with a brick one, tunnel vaulted, something very popular from Roman architecture, and of course since then. Think of huge barrel vaults like St. Peter's Basilica. It's built of Oolithic limestone. Now compare this with the magnesium limestone of which the Roman walls are made. The front of the Roman wall here is flattened off and shaped, and there's no protruding parts. This is because magnesium limestone is a lot easier to work with. You can cut it in any direction and you can make any size or shape from it. Not just in the Roman walls, magnesium limestone has been used all over York, the medieval walls, even the Minster. Oolithic limestone, however, cannot be worked in the same way. Occurring in flat slabs, it makes the construction appear a lot more messy and uneven, very roughly cut and awkwardly shaped. This seems to suggest, to me, that after the Romans left, the construction methods they used here in York were lost. The Anglo-Saxons may have come a few hundred years later, but it seems like their building knowledge had gone backwards compared to the Romans. I'm not quite sure why they wouldn't have used magnesium limestone like the Romans did. The Romans would have brought it down the river from Tadcaster, where it was quarried, but also even more of a question, Why didn't the Anglo-Saxons simply reuse stones from the crumbling Roman wall? I don't know. Maybe they thought the existing wall was too risky to demolish. Maybe they didn't demolish it out of respect. Or maybe they even feared the Romans returning and being angry. Whatever the case, this was seemingly built of freshly quarried Oolitic limestone, probably from the North York Moors or thereabouts. If we snake our way from the Anglian Tower, we can make our way back towards the Roman Multangular Tower. We're now on the inside of the Multangular Tower. A great view of the building work. It goes up 9 or 10 metres high. This squared stone pattern, known as saxa quadrata, and this brick layer which bonds the inner and outer layers. As you look at the stone layers, you can see how they differ according to when they were added. Multangular Tower, 9-sided. If you carried on with the shape, it would make a 13-sided tower or a tridecagon, but you can see the back 4 sides are missing so that soldiers could get in to defend here. They excavated inside here in 1831, and one of the things that they found was a stone with an inscription on it. It read Genio Loci Felicite, Latin asking for a guardian to protect this location, as it has been protected for centuries. Inside, it's changed a lot over time. Before the excavation, it would have been filled with earth right the way up to make it easier to defend from. Maybe, all being well, this tower will still be standing proud in another 2,000 years. This wonderful sketch here dates from 1683, along with a publication that's on the internet. You can see it now, Royal Society Publishing, entitled Some Observations Upon the Ruins of a Roman Wall and Multangular Tower at York. You can see there where a stray cannonball crashed through the wall, 1644 in the English Civil War. It's also the first mention in this document of it ever being called the Multangular Tower.